Hey y'all, this is Crystal. Welcome back here to my little sliver of YouTube. This is a channel I usually talk about book stuff, or sometimes I talk about stitchy stuff. Today it's a book stuff chat. And today is the day, my friends. We are going to talk about some 2022 plans. I love a good plans video personally to watch, so let's see if I can make this somewhat cohesive. I've got my notes right here, so I will be referencing them, of course. And I don't know, I love making plans, especially for like a new year. You know, it's like fresh start, some new ideas. This is my year kind of thing. I just love it. I love making plans, and while also knowing that I am who I am and plans change, you know. So let's just get going. So here's some things I'm thinking about for the new year. And this number one is, it's a doozy, and I try this almost every year and don't do very well, particularly in 2021. But 2022, man, I gotta read more from my shelves and my Kindle, which I often forget. I gotta read more of these books that I already have. I have so many. Yes. So let's try to dwindle these unread numbers down. Am I right? And that will go into a goal for the next goal rather, which will be limit my purchases. I went a little off the rails, and I need to simmer down. I need to simmer down on buying books, because there's just no way I'm going to read them all. Yeah. Cool your jets, Crystal. Calm down. Calm down. I'm notorious for going to a thrift store and buying like several books. They're only 50 cents. You know, gotta stop doing that. And I do have monthly books that come in. I've got my book of the month that comes in. I've got my Nightworms that comes in. So I'll have books that come in every month. So I just need to just chill. Read what you got. You got plenty of awesome things. We'll try, my friends. So, and I think also it will help me with limiting book purchases and also focusing on reading from my shelves is a little bit less of joining things this year. I love a good readathon, as good as the next person, but sometimes that just derails your goals of, what you already had in place. So I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do any readathons, because I know myself. So I think just pick a few and go with it. Don't join every read along. You ain't gotta do it all, Crystal, okay? And here I know that I've already joined 2 read alongs next year. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I have another goal that I really would like to read at least 1 middle grade book a month. I had that goal for myself for 2021 and failed miserably. I have tons of middle grade books. I have 3 bookshelves here. The whole top shelf along all 3 of these are middle grade books. They're all double stacked. It's out of control. I need to read these books. I'd like to read at least 1 a month. That's 12 books, right? It's not actually very much, but it's a goal. I actually have a goal too of doing at least 1 reread a month. I enjoy rereading, but I didn't do that as much, and I haven't done that really as much the past few years. And I have some books that I want to reread. I made a list. I have 12 books that I want to reread, and I'll get to those in a minute. I also have, this is just a personal goal. It's a personal, not challenge, but what's the word? A personal project that I've been doing to read books that have characters with Down syndrome. And so I just want to continue doing that and make sure I'm keeping that in the kind of forefront of my mind, and that I'm picking up these books, so. And then we'll talk about some series, which I will go into in a little bit also. But first up, I have 4 authors too that I really want to. They're my favorite. 4 of my favorite authors that I really kind of want to focus on this year, of making progress on their books of theirs that I've not read. And so I'd like to read more than one. If I read like 2 or 3 by them this year, that's again, it's a goal, If I could just read a couple, I will feel good about that. Because some of these authors I've not read a lot, but if I could read a couple books by them this year, I'll feel pretty good about that. The first one will be Margaret Atwood. I don't know, y'all. I love Margaret Atwood, so I would love to get into The Edible Woman. This one is just super interesting to me, sort of about consumerism, and I think it's kind of strange, and I don't know. But I have all these here are Margaret Atwood, and it's also double stacked. I also would like to get to Cat's Eye. That one's kind of calling my name. Yeah, so Margaret Atwood is an author I want to read more from in 2022. And next up is Neil Gaiman. My Gaiman stack is here. As far as, and again, I'm trying to read the books that I have on my shelf. So his books that I have not read yet that are on my shelf. Now this is of course with Terry Pratchett. I still haven't read Good Omens. That feels wrong somehow. Need to remember that. I have the Graveyard Book, which will knock off one of my middle grade books. And Stardust I haven't read yet. I really would like to read this one. This one's calling my name. And I have Fragile Things, which is this short story collection. And then I've got this graphic novel, Likely Stories. I can definitely breeze through that pretty good. And I actually have this picture book as well, called The Day I Swapped My Dad for 2 Goldfish. I can definitely get through this one pretty quickly. I love the illustrations on here. They're illustrated by Dave McKean. For the Glare. So those are definitely some Gaiman books that I have on my shelf that are unread for him. Oh, we're just gonna toss them in the floor. The next author is Chuck Palahniuk. I've read the bulk of Palahniuk's books, but I've gotten a little behind. So the ones I have not read yet, Beautiful You, which I've heard isn't very good. Adjustment Day, which I also heard isn't all great, but I'm a completist. And then his newest one, Invention of Sound, I bought it and never read it. The Story of My Life. I also have Fight Club 2 and 3. I started Fight Club 2 when it first came out, never finished it, so I need to finish both of these. These are graphic novels that continue the story of Fight Club. And I love Fight Club 2 because, where is it? It's the time I met Chuck and he signed my book. So, anyway. Gotta get through the rest of Chuck's books that I've not read yet, because we're pals. We're on first name basis. And lastly, Octavia Butler. I love Octavia Butler. I really want to dig through the Kindred graphic novel. Kindred is one of my favorite books ever, and I just kind of want to see what the graphic novel's about. I forgot to bring it up. I have not read Fledgling yet. Maybe I could get to that one this year. And then I have one of her series on my series list that I want to get to this year too, which will kind of work into also reading Parallel the Sower graphic novel. Which I think will be cool. I know she didn't actually write this graphic novel, but it's taken from her story. That makes sense. Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. So those are some authors I just kind of want to focus on this year. And let's see, so then I'll get into my 12 rereads that I have on my list. Let me turn the page. Okay, so speaking of Miss Atwood, I really want to reread The Handmaid's Tale again. I've read this book tons of times, but I just want to reread it again. And I actually would really like to finally check out the graphic novel adaptation of this as well. Picked that up recently, and oh, it looks so good. So I would like to read both of those. I'd like to reread Slaughterhouse 5. I hadn't read this in probably 20 years, so it just seems, I don't remember much about it, so I think I kind of want to read it again. Refresh my memory, you know. It's like one of those I remember liking, and as I'm trying to reread some of Chuck's books, I would really like to reread Survivor this year. This one is one I remember loving when I first read it, but I hadn't read it since it came out. Only read it the one time. So 1999. Vintage, probably. I'm excited about that. Very excited about that one. I really want to reread American Psycho. I haven't read this in several years. I just want to reread it. I know I just read this year, but I really want to reread Dune so that I can continue on with the series. I just want to read it again. I feel like I'll catch more the second time around. And then as I continue with the series, it'll just be a bit fresher in my mind. I want to reread the Paper Girls graphic novels. And I really want to read them just so I can actually finish the series and read the last book, which I never read for some reason. So, but I definitely need to reread everything in here because I don't remember much. And then I want to reread it, finish it out, and so everything will be cool and fresh. And I love Paper Girls. So, yes. I know I read this recently, but I really want to reread Betty. I do. I know I want to sob and cry all over again because I do. I just want to read it again. I know I'm a crazy person. Oh my gosh, I've got books all around me. Oh my gosh, they're gonna fall everywhere. Catch-22. I read this book in my 20s. I'm in my 40s now. I remember really liking this and thinking it was absolutely hilarious. But I don't remember too much about it. So it's just kind of what I want to reread, you know? Refresh my memory. Kind of like Slaughterhouse 5. Just refresh my memory a little bit. And then this one made me sad. I did have this on my list to reread in 2022, and then of course we heard of Anne Rice's passing, and I'm like, now I really want to reread this one. I had reread The Witching Hour this year, and fell in love with it all over again. So I was like, oh, okay, I've got to dig back into Interview with the Vampire. I've read this like probably since my teen years. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I think there's probably going to be some read-alongs for some Anne Rice books this year. One I don't own a copy of, but I really wanted to reread Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. When I was making my list of like my favorite books ever, Great Expectations popped in my mind because I really remember loving that book. But I hadn't read it in so long, so I didn't know, like, could I really put it on a favorites list, you know, like an all-time favorite list? And so I didn't, because I go, well, I don't know if it would still be an all-time favorite. So I said, I'm going to reread that. I'm going to reread it. So I'm going to definitely dive back into Great Expectations and Pip and Miss Havisham. And I'm so excited to get back into that. And it's the same actually with Geek Love by Catherine Dunn. I read this in my 20s. I remember absolutely loving this book, but I have a feeling that I would feel differently about it now. So I want to reread this book, refresh my memory a bit about why I loved it so much, and would I still like it now with the life experiences I have now. We will see on this one. I'm having some doubts. Also, I lost my really beautiful copy of Geek Love that I had. I had to buy this really ugly copy. Like, what the hell is this? I'm mad about that. And I also really want to reread American Gods. It's one of my favorite books, and I want to read it again. And actually, I think I want to dive into the audiobook for it. I've never listened to the audio for it. I think that would be really fun. I love this book. So those are my rereads. I'm going to do, just try to plan one a month, casual. If I don't get them all, it's fine. Don't stress out. We'll get to what we can get to. But those are my top plans for rereading, we'll say. Okay, now, should I go ahead and talk about series? Let's just make it a big, long video. Why the hell not? So I've got some series that I think I can finish this year. We're going to try anyway. First up will be the Patience of a Dead Man series. I only need to read the third book, Anger is an Acid, and that one will be fun. Oh, it will be fun. We'll be done. The Books of Babel series. I brought the first book out, Sinless of Sins. I have 2 more books to read in that series, and I think I could get that one done this year. I would like to get that one done this year. How about that? How about let's just claim it? You got to claim it sometimes. The Goddess in the Machine duology. This is a YA sci-fi book. I don't do a lot of YA, but I really enjoyed book 1. And book 2 is called Devil in the Device. I listened to the audio. First time around, I'll probably do the audio again. It was fun. I liked it. The same with the sort of Dread Nation series. It's a duology also. I just need to read Deathless Divide. And that one will be done. I feel like I can really finish Binti. I've read the first one. These are novellas. They're very short. I can read the second 2, and those will be done. I got that on my Kindle. And also, to finish out a series, I really want to finish out the Nevernight Chronicles, and by reading Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff. I'm not super interested in reading much more by Jay Kristoff, just personal. But I would like to finish this series to see how it all ends up for Miss Mia. So these covers are so great; they really are. So those are some series that I think I could finish. If I just took the time, you can do it. You know what I mean? And I got some series that I want to make. I want to just keep making steady progress, and I'm not going to aim to finish because that's just too much. But maybe I can pick up a book in the series or something and just keep making progress. Like the Hannibal series from Thomas Harris. I read Silence of the Lambs, which I know is technically the book 2. So maybe I can read Red Dragon this year, or in 2022. Yeah, just kind of keep going with the series so it doesn't hang out there for years and then you never finish it. Am I right? Same with Song of Ice and Fire. I was going to finish this series this year. That's funny, isn't it? I think this is book 3. I don't even know. I'm out of order. Yeah, book 3. I read the first 2, so I would need to dive into book 3. I've been doing these on audio, and the audiobooks have been great, so I could definitely fly through some audiobooks. At least book 3, maybe book 4, no pressure, but we'll see. Y'all know I'm going to be making progress through the Malazan series. This will be the next book up once I finish House of Jane. So Midnight Ties will be the first book that I start in this series in 2022. It's 1 million pages long. It's fine. I just want to I got to keep going with this series or else I will not continue. I got to get going. As mentioned, I would like to continue with the Dune series. I have the first 6 books in that sort of main series. So just make some progress. I'm not trying to finish it, but just maybe read, one or two more of the series. As the same with Leviathan, not Leviathan, but the Expanse series. This is book 1, of course. I've got a few down here. I've got books 2, 3, 4, I think. Just, pick up 1 or 2, maybe sometime this year. Make some progress. No pressure. This actually could probably, I think, should have gone into my possibly finish pile, but because I think this is just a duology. The Escaping Exodus series. I think it's just a duology, but it may not be. So by reading the second book, I'll be caught up, and if more come out, then that would be fine. This is a really fun space opera, a very different kind of story. Yeah, and I want to finish. I would like to pick up book 2. Oh my gosh, I've got books falling. And this the same with the this series. Is it called the Skyward series? I don't even know. I don't know. Anyway, this is book 2. This is another science fiction. This is by Brandon Sanderson. I really enjoyed Skyward, which is there. Just make some progress. Get into book 2. I know book 3 is already out, so I also would like to make some progress on Tananarive Dew's The African Immortal series. I've only read book 1. I would love to dive into a couple more of these books. They're very interesting stories about immortals, and I love Tananarive Dew. So, and then lastly, for the just make some progress, Crystal, is Saga. This is another graphic novel series that I read a lot, and then I fell off the last few that have come out. So I just want to make some progress. Probably reread the first few that I already read. I think I read 5 of these, 4 or 5. Maybe 6. Hell, I don't even know. See, I've lost track of even what I read and what I haven't. So I'll probably start over and then just catch up on that one. That'll be fun. I love that series. So I think that's it. I'm gonna check my list because I'm a liar. Because I have these on my Kindle. The Stillhouse Lake series by Rachel Kane. I read the first 2. I think there's 2 more in the series. Sadly, Rachel Kane passed away. Was that this year or last year in 2020? I can't remember now. She had cancer. Anyway, I'd like to finish that thriller series because it's a wild ride. It's been a wild ride. And my Star Wars books here. I've got so many Star Wars books. This thing is double stacked. Just pick us some Star Wars books because I enjoy them. And I'm never going to finish if I do. I'm never going to finish reading Star Wars books because they release like 20 a year. But anyway, plus all the old ones. It's a thing. Okay. Series that I'd like to start, because one can never have too many series, obviously, is, it's a lot. Kelly over Kelly Hooked on Books, and this is one, like I said, I've already joined things, even though I said I'm not going to join anything. But we're going to start a read along of V.C. Andrews books. Oh my god, you hear that loud car? And we're going to start with the, what is this one? What's the name of this series? Is it the Dollinger series? Yes, the Gollenganger series, family series. Of course, Flowers in the Attic is book 1. This is a bind up I found at a thrift store. I've got Flowers in the Attic and Petals in the Wind, or Petals on the Wind. This is gonna be fun. I've never read anything by V.C. Andrews, which seems like a travesty. So I'm looking forward to starting that series. I've also decided with my book club that I have with a few friends of mine, I thought it was a great idea that we start the Dark Tower series. I don't know why. I've got the movie cover edition, it's fine. We'll see how far we go. I'm not sure if we'll finish the whole series this year, but I've never read the Dark Tower at all, so sounds fun to me. I also would like to start the Area X trilogy by Jeff Vandermeer. This was on my list to read this year. I did not make it. I didn't succeed with that goal this year. So this is the Southern Reach trilogy. It's a sci-fi, and I really want to read Jeff Vandermeer in general. So this one, I also would like to start the, what's this one called? What's the series? I'm terrible at remembering series names. Did I write it down? The Lot Lands series by Jonathan French, book 1 being The Great Bastards. This is a fantasy series. Think about like half human, half orcs. Leslie the narrative said it was good, so I'm going with that. And as this ties into my reading more Octavia Butler, I really want to read and complete actually this series, her Earthsea duology, starting with Parable of the Sower and reading then Parable of the Talents, and then reading that graphic novel or adaptation of Parable of the Sower. My covers don't match. It's fine. But this will be my sort of next Octavia series. And then I'll only have her Patternist series left, and I'll be sad. But this, I think, will be my Octavia series for this year, for 2022. Back to reading, wanting to read more Margaret Atwood. I want to start the Mad Adam series. This is a dystopian, I think it's a trilogy. Dystopian world, world overrun by a plague. So we got that going. This is what I've been wondering forever. So Orcs and Crake is book 1 of that series. I have on my list to read the Nightmareland Chronicles. I get that started by Daniel Barnett. There's a bunch of novellas. I feel like I could read a couple. At least read one, right? Oh, and I have this on my Kindle. I really want to read Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. I've been putting that book off, but I'm ready. I'm ready to get into that book this year, 2022. I keep saying this year. It's not 2020 yet. I really want to get into that series this year. I'm a bit daunted. I'm a little nervous. And finally, I really want to start the Ascender series by Jeff Lemire. Illustrations by Dustin Nguyen. I finished the Descender series in 2021, so I just want to dive into Ascender and see where this goes. I'm so excited. I loved Descender so much. I love the artwork of this. It's like watercolory. Oh, I love this series. I think that's it. I mean, let me check the notes. Yes. It seems like a lot. And it probably is. Again, I like just making lists, having some goals, trying to stay on target. And these are things that I'm really excited to read. You know what I mean? I want to read what I want to read, man, But of course I have to know that I only have so much time. Like Crystal, you need to probably just chill out, but it's fine. So I'm very much looking forward to 2022 and my reading. See how the year will look for me. I'm sure it'll be a little different because I'll be going, I'll be more in the office full time, and at some point I'm sure we'll all finally be heading back, in 2022. I have a feeling that my workplace will finally be opening up to everyone at some point in 2022. So that'll definitely cut into my audiobook time, which makes me sad a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. Time management, right? So, what are your goals for 2022? I would love to know if you've made a goals video or are going to. Let me know. Let me know if it's posted or whatever. I want to see it. I want to watch all the goals videos. And yeah, are you gonna try to do a book budget next year or not? Have a no buy ban? Oh, let me know. I'm gonna need some solidarity. Be with me. Okay, I've gotten weird now. So that's gonna do it. I'm always look forward to a new year. I always have high hopes, positivity. Yes, it's going to be a good year, right? Right? Thanks for watching, my friends. It's a long one. If you stuck around this long, thanks for sticking around. And yeah, here's to 2022. It's going to be a good year. Thanks for watching, friends.